to go in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi! Yeah! Yeah!
Hello and welcome to the Redscast podcast. After Liverpool have been humiliated by Manchester City. Is that fair to say? I'm joined by Jay and Dean. Start with you, Dean. Disappointed, angry, annoyed?
I was pissed off, but I was more like just come to accept it. It was what it was, and I think, to be fair, we all semi-expected it. I know we were quite bullish on here last week, to be fair, but I think once the team came out, I texted Jay and was like, my confidence is just completely depleted, and it was just seeing that back two partnership. But I think we can't even moan about it. It's the worst thing about it. We got exactly what we deserved, I thought.
What you, Jay?
He texted me when the team come out and I just said 4-0 City, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I wasn't far off. Like I said last week, I decided to look at the positives from it. I thought we were in it for an hour. In the sense of, I thought it could go either way when it was 1-1. I think we had a bit where we were a little bit, it looked like we were going to be the team to get the next goal, and then it just fucking crumbled, didn't it? There's no other way I can describe it.
Paul commented on the Instagram, available for a post-match if you just want to chat, please.
I rang him after it, Paul, and he was, I think he was about 5 glasses of rose saying, like, but he was all right about it.
The league done, Dean?
Yeah, it was done before then, no way. And I thought it was done before City. I think that game was just a nail in the coffin. And if not, like, for the results, I think for the confidence, I don't think we'll come back from that in terms of mounting a serious title challenge. I think, as I said last week, we're more now about looking over our shoulder than we are about going on and looking up at City. What have they got? A game in hand, is it?
Just one game in hand.
Yeah, just one game in hand. So if they win that, they're 12 points clear of us. We're not even on their radar now, and to be honest, rightly so. We can't moan. We can't moan at the result. We can't moan at the performance. We can't moan at being out of a title race.
How many points clear was we last year when we beat United?
Was it
12?
30 points? Was it that? We ended up 30 points clear at the end, didn't we?
No, it was
29, 28, something like that.
We
Yeah.
won the league by.
Yeah.
Never.
But they were on like
19.
it was 19 points clear of City, but of United, it was like we were like 30 points clear, weren't we?
Yeah.
At the end, and they went on a 12-game win. Well, not a win streak.
Sorry,
12 games unbeaten.
I never understood the question. I thought you said when we beat United in the
Yeah,
December.
like how many points clear of City was we then?
I think it was like 19-20, which is like a typical fucking thing of being a Liverpool fan and expecting us to fuck it up. Yeah. Even then, it was only then that when we went like 20 plus points clear that everyone thought, well, we might actually win the league now.
That's what I mean with City, because the Pep said today in the press conference, I don't understand why we need to play all season. We've won it now. Is that just him being petty because they're asking about saying he's won the league and he's being sarcastic?
Did he really say that?
He said something like along the lines of it was like, I don't understand why we need to play Tottenham and Everton next when we've already champions.
I think he's just being a dickhead. Because he can be like that in press conferences, can't he?
Yeah.
He's a bit like Klopp in the sense that he can get quite touchy in press conferences. And I think that's just what he's doing. He's just been like, because everyone said they've already won the league, he's just been like, we might as well not fucking play it now if you think we've won it.
Speaking of Klopp, do you think that the news that's come out today has affected Liverpool's performances, Jay?
No, because if someone else's mum dies, it doesn't affect me. I'm sad for them, but it doesn't affect me.
He doesn't really take training either, does he?
He's like every manager. He'll do bits. He'll do what he wants, doesn't he? If he turns up one day and just says I don't want to do it today, you do it. Yeah. It's not. I don't think no, because why would it? Doesn't like it wouldn't affect me if I was playing.
I was thinking more along like where Klopp's like the motivator for the team. Obviously, he's not going to be Mr. Motivator.
It's not just him, though, is it? It's the whole. He's got a fucking backroom staff of like 50 people there. It's not just him. Everyone doesn't look to him for motivation. It'll be his assistants, his first team coaches, his fucking scouts, and whatever.
Shouldn't we give him that Burnley game off though? Do you reckon? Like, or give him some time off and just have Pep managing?
I don't think it's should we give him it off. It's.
I know we can't go to Germany, but
it's not even that. just don't think he's the type of fella to say, oh no, I don't want to come into work because my mum's died. It's like everyone. When someone dies, I'd rather just go in and crack on.
Right. Speaking of the City game, then I want to get your point of view as a goalkeeper. Well, we can call you a goalkeeper, can't we, Jay? That's what he was.
I've seen him play out once and it was awful, mate.
So what, right, I was driving here and I thought, Matty's going to mention me being a goalkeeper. Dean's going to say, is that what you are?
Word for word.
Yeah, word for word, and I got it right. But yeah, I do have a going goal, Dean, yeah.
You went to Dallas as the keeper?
Second keeper.
Still went to Dallas.
I went to Dallas, sat on the bench, but...
Alisson, I seen your tweet saying about you can slate him for having a bad performance. I'm going to make you with something I've seen tweets, not a few, people saying he should be dropped.
Look at who's on the bench.
I know.
For me...
Would you blame Alisson? That's the question.
Yeah.
I know.
Fucking right.
No, but for the first time he kicked it out, you could see he was shaky. But then the players put him in them positions.
Okay, so delve into it a little bit deeper, right?
Yeah.
That part of the game is over an hour in.
Yeah.
So it's not as if like it's happened in the first minute. If it happens in the first minute, you can say, fucking hell, wake up.
Yeah.
It's an hour in. More than an hour because he's had half time and stuff. For me, the first one, okay, you can live with mistakes.
Yeah.
Sound, it happens. Shit happens. It's one of them. But for me, if I'm a player and I'm playing out, I'm not giving him the ball for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because as a keeper,
5 minutes, Genie?
As a keeper, I don't want the ball again. Don't give me the ball. Fucking, I want that ball as far away up the pitch as possible.
Yeah.
Just don't give it to me.
His head was gone after the first one, weren't it?
So, the first one, yeah, you let him off a little bit. As I said, shit happens. The second one, and bear in mind, in between them, he'd nearly kicked it out for the corner. So his head had obviously gone. So I don't understand the logic of okay, let's keep using him. For me, it'd be, for the next 5 minutes, let's get the ball away from the goal. Let him compose himself. Let him do this. He should never try that pass. Fuck me, I've never seen a way. I don't know how he's done it. Wijnaldum stood over there and he fucking passed it there. I just don't understand. I don't understand.
Was Wijnaldum, he passed it back somewhere?
I don't know. You don't know who he was aiming for. Probably Robertson or whoever was centre half. Can't even remember. But yeah, for me, and I think he should save Foden's one. If I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a terrible goal. It's right above him. And he goes down. That's what I don't understand. It's right at him, and he goes to his knees and flicks his fingers. Like, it's right at him. I think he should do well better with that.
Do well better. Listen, Phil Foden's a fucking unbelievable footballer, by the way. Yeah. World class, but the keeper should save that for me.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Phil Foden, he ran the game for them earlier, didn't he?
He did. He ran the game, but I just like. He cut inside. Sterling cut inside for me. Sorry, I've gone off fucking track here. I'm good. You talk about Foden because my head's just fell off there.
What's to say about Foden? He did run the game, but I think Foden, and like City as well, that was a performance he can hang his hat on. I mean, that'll be the Phil Foden game.
Yeah.
And that'll be the game that Phil Foden came to the fore. And all these people who've been saying, fucking Phil Foden, I haven't seen what's everyone raving about Phil Foden for.
Yeah.
Well, now you can say, well, look at that Liverpool game and he ran the show. And I think, to be fair to City, I think it's going to be the exact same. Like, listen, every type winning team has a performance they can hang their hat on. For us last season, it was Leicester. That Leicester game was the catalyst for us going on throughout the rest of the season, just battering everybody. And I feel like this game for City was the same. This is the game they're going to hang their hat on now. And we'll look back at the end of the season and all the neutrals will say that was the game where it changed for City and
they won the league.
They won the league that day, yeah. And I think, similar to Foden, this will be the game where we all turn around and say, this was the game where Phil Foden became a star, and rightly so. I mean, he battered us on single-handedly at points, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's fucking horrendous that his bird let him go with that hurdle.
From Stockport, though, I'd let him go with that one, you know. It's probably the best haircut in Stockport.
I mean, I know mine's not great, but fucking hell.
I didn't want to say it, like, but...
It's annoying though, isn't it? Because in the game we weren't bad.
I don't think we were. The positive to take from Curtis Jones played well. I thought he'd done really well. I don't understand why he was took off.
For James Milner.
For James Milner. No, was it Shaqiri? Shaqiri come off for him?
He come off.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why he come off. I thought Trent was fucking awful. I thought the penalty, learn from it.
Yeah.
Sterling, he's pulled out of a challenge with Sterling. Fair play, because Sterling will throw himself on the floor, as we've seen. It is a penalty, though. But then, for it to happen for the second goal, when Sterling cuts inside and goes past Trent again, like, you'd think at half-time someone would have pulled him aside and just said, like, are you all right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because to let it happen again, and then they've scored off it, and I'm sure he's done it 2 or 3 more times, where Sterling can't use his, not that he can't use his left foot, he's right-footed. Yeah. And the reason Pep probably puts him out there is so he cuts in onto his right foot.
Yeah.
So, as a player, recognise that and put him on his left foot. Stop showing him inside onto his right foot all the time. His right foot is dangerous. It was just as if, like, he couldn't be arsed, Trent. The only time I saw a bit of fight in him was when he squared up to the goalie. When he squared up to the goalie.
Yeah, we were 4-1 down by that point.
And he's like, nah, you fucking waited 90 minutes.
What did you think of the selection, or what did you both think, actually, of the starting 11? Because I obviously texted you over the centre halves, but to be honest, I thought he got the midfield all wrong as well.
He's going to get the midfield wrong because he got the centre halves wrong.
No, I agree, but at the same point, I felt Milner should have started. And although for as well as Jones played, I wouldn't have started Curtis Jones. I'd have started Milner, Wijnaldum and Thiago, given that these centre halves who they are. I'd have started those 3 because you know Milner will get across and cover Trent. That's the point of having Milner. That's the point of playing Henderson there. And that's why we've missed Henderson so much, is because he gives cover to Trent that he's not getting from Salah.
I agree with the cover thing, because I think to bring Jones off and put, for argument's sake, Shaqiri there, it's just even less protection for Trent. Whereas Robertson on the other side has got all the fucking cover that he needs. Because Mane does the running.
Yeah, Mane will
do the doggies.
Well, was it Thiago we played on the left side of midfield, or the right side of midfield, sorry? It was Thiago, wasn't he? So we had Thiago ultimately trying to cover Trent, who you want to go forward and be creative.
Yeah, Thiago, who for me is not blessed with pace.
Nah, and that was a bad game from Thiago, to be honest.
Look, it was a bad game from everyone. Can't just single him out, but one thing that does do me head in is when you go on Twitter and it's like, you have the LFC family dickheads, and you, like, as soon as you criticise the manager, a player, well, you can't do that. I can. I can, because 1, they've just been slapped 4-1. 2, for me, the team selection was wrong. And 3, they're out the title race.
Yeah.
They're out the thing we've all waited our entire lives for. And it's just like it's being given. I know there's issues going on with injuries and there's like all other stuff going on, but let's be honest, since Liverpool were confirmed champions last year,
we've been crap.
How many, can you count on 2 hands how many fucking good performances we've had?
Chelsea game probably, but that was it, wasn't it?
Okay, the Chelsea game, that was 1 in what, fucking 8?
Even that though was...
Even that was
close. 3, didn't we?
Yeah,
even that was close.
Yeah.
I can't really remember it because I was pissed, but even that was close. Fucking any...
Thought we played well against Everton, but like, we drew.
Yeah, but
the fucking game, so
probably that West Ham game.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Another one, Chelsea. But even then, we're not even into double digits. How many games have been since then?
We've been
reigning champions. It should be more, and I agree with Jay. The Twitter pisses me off anyway. I think it's a cesspit. But I think you get on there and like, you go on there to have a rant, and then people start piping up, and you're in the mood for fucking arguments anyway. Do you know what I mean? But at the same token, I think Jay's being kind. I think you're both being kind there on the performance. I thought there was 15 minutes in that game where we were in it, and every other, and for the rest of the game, it just looked like City just had another gear. Yeah. I think the last 20 minutes of that first half was the only time we were in that game. And then when we come out at the second half, it looked like City scored and gave us too much respect for me. And it took for us to score a goal for them to wake up.
Yeah.
Because they needed to win. They felt like they needed to win the game. I felt like if they'd come out second half, carried on from that first goal and tried to build on it, we wouldn't have scored. We wouldn't have got through. We wouldn't have got that pen. I thought we were lucky to get the pen. I thought we were lucky to get a goal. It was a pen, but it came from a mistake because we weren't getting through.
Yeah.
And I thought, apart from that, the whole second half, first half, it was fairly even. First half of the first half, if you get me, it's first 25. It looked like a massive time for City, but then we come back into it. We had the better chances, and up until half time, Alisson had fuck all to do. But then after that second half, I thought they dominated. I thought they were in complete control. I didn't see a point where I felt like we were going to get back in it. And I felt like even when it went to 1-1, we were lucky to be in it at that point. And I felt even after 1-1, you just knew. I didn't have faith in us to get to the end of the game and see it out and get a draw.
When it was 1-1, I just wanted to draw then. I didn't even think we'd win it.
It's hard, innit? Because you just think... Carragher raised a few good points on Monday Night Footy, I thought. If you look at the team that played in Kiev, there's 3 players who aren't in that club now.
Yeah. Lovren, Karius.
Lovren, Karius, and... There was Lovren and Karius, and then we've signed 3 who've gone into the team because Milner's dropped out and Milner started in Kiev. So he was going through all that, and then he went through the minutes that some players have played. The most amount of minutes that players have played in the Premier League since Kiev. He put it into a thing. And Andy Robertson since Kiev has played like 95% of Premier League minutes.
It's the only one more, Bobby.
No, it was Robertson. Robertson was top. Yeah. Robertson was top, and there was like Firmino, Mane, Salah.
All played over 85%.
So I think Wijnaldum was in there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, although we are in sheer form, we're not playing well. We're 2 best centre halves are out. I just think it's a culmination of those 3 things and a fucking burnout.
Well, teams usually have a cycle of about 4 years, don't they? But we haven't changed much since Kiev. Ultimately, like you just
said. They pissed the league last year. When you think about it, they signed...
Since Kiev, we've signed Alisson and Van Dijk, really, innit? Mainly.
No, signed...
Van Dijk played in Kiev.
Van Dijk played in Kiev.
He got bought in January, didn't he?
Alisson...
Keita, Fabinho, Alisson, Shaqiri and Adrian are the only signings proper signings I can think of. It's supposed to be like youth players.
You could say, to be fair, Alisson and Fabinho have been additions to the spine of the team. So and how many spinal additions do you make to your team per summer? Yeah. Probably about 1 or 2 anyway. Everyone else is just fighting for places. So that is normal. I think what's more stark is the fact that Keita, Adrian, Shaqiri, those 3 players are all probably backups. And that's the only backups. And I think our main problem is when we bought these players, we bought them as backups. So now we're at a point now, 2 years down the line, where they're not competition. They're not credible competition. They're not going to command the place in the team. They're not going to come in and outperform Mo Salah. Shaqiri isn't going to come in and outperform Mo Salah. So that, say Mo Salah gets injured 1 week and Shaqiri comes in and starts, he's not going to come in and bang at Asak the way Salah would.
Do you think Keita, though, if he stays fit, is a good addition? I
like Keita. I have this argument all the time, and I argue chat about Keita, and I'm a big defender. Like, if he stays fit, like one of them players, he needs momentum, and I feel like if he stays fit and he gets his momentum, he gets a run of like 5 or 10 games under his belt, then he's got it in him to be an important player. He is the player that we bought, or he is the player that essentially we want Curtis Jones to be. Yeah. It's like box to box, but literally box to box, not doing your work in the middle third of the pitch. Yeah. Get from one box to the other box and get goals.
Apparently we're trying to make him a bit like Genie, in a sense of that's why he's been... Apparently he's fit, but they're bulking him up to make him... Because obviously if Genie goes, they want him to play the Genie role.
That's the point. Keita is this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense because he's got the stamina, he's got the bulk, and he's got the speed. So he can do it. He can't... But the problem is he just can't physically do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But tactically and mentally and technically, he is as good as that. He can do that, and he will get goals as well. The problem is, his body just isn't old enough for whatever reason. But he's been here 2 years now. He's 25. At what point do we throw the towel in on that? Do we say like enough's enough? He's a bust of flush and try and get him on.
It cost us what, 50 mil? Was it something stupid like that?
60 million euros, weren't it? Yeah.
I just think it's now a fucking massive summer. You either get into the summer and you go right.
But this is FSG. We've got no money. From now till the summer? We've got no fans still.
We'll have to do something, aren't they? Because they've brought someone in who and backed them. Let's be honest, they've backed them and it's worked. Yeah. So now, do you think, in their perspective, did you look at it and go, well, you know, we've got what we came for, won the league, we've made money, we're happy for mediocre now? Or do you look and say, go to that fella who you've put your trust in and given 6-year contracts to and go, right, what do you need? What do you need? Because
I think that
whatever you need, we will find a way to get you there.
Because they're a business.
They are a business.
So they're not going to want us to be mediocre, because at the end game for them ultimately is to sell us.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll accept mediocrity. I think they're pretty they're not naive. I don't think they turn around and go, we've give you all we can. We've got what we wanted and we're happy now. We'll sit on this.
No, I'm not saying that they are. My point is, it's a big summer to try and to make the decision of what do we do? Do we try and build it up slowly, or do we just go, right, here's a fucking big pot of money. That's what we've got. That's what we can afford.
Yeah.
Use it.
Would you accept having to sell to buy this summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about selling though?
The absolute shite that we've just got. And it's not even like a fucking debate on who that shite is. Origi needs fucking off. Shaqiri needs fucking off.
I actually put the list. I'm going to find it now. Carry on while I find it.
Who else is there?
Oxlade-Chamberlain, would you?
I like Oxlade-Chamberlain, but I think the injuries have killed him. He was doing really well before the injuries, but then the injuries have come along and it's like...
He's another one that needs 5 or 10 games under his belt, but his style of play for the midfield doesn't suit the way we play.
I think he's a really good player, and when he got injured, genuinely I was gutted because I think he'd have been a difference in Kiev.
I agree. I think that's what we missed in Kiev, was someone to run at them from deep, especially when Salah went off, because we just became quite predictable. He threw Lallana on. I know we're digressing here, by the way, but he threw Lallana on the left and we lost all that pace. And Oxlade-Chamberlain would have given you that from a different area of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? But I agree, at the same point, I think Oxlade-Chamberlain needs to go now. He's 28 years old. Like, for his style of players, being running and being direct, and how much longer would you get that out of him anyway if he was fully fit? So I think Oxlade-Chamberlain probably has to go. I wouldn't be averse to selling Keita if there was a good price. Anything above 15, 20 million for me, Keita goes. Shaqiri has to go. Origi has to go. And you're going to fucking, I'm going to pillar you for this. I'd sell Salah.
I would.
I think you get easily, even in this market, you get 90 million for Mo Salah. And 90 million is 3 players to us.
I think with Salah, it wouldn't surprise me if we did go in for Mbappe, as bold as it is, he could be included because he's massive. But for their owners, because he's massive in Qatar, isn't he? If you think back to the Club World Cup, he got the reward because he was Salah. He was crap in the Club World Cup ultimately. He's massive in that market and that in their Qatari owners. So I think he'd be used in part of a deal with that. But I'd sell Salah.
Top goal scorer, isn't he?
Yeah, but what have his performances done the past however many games?
This with Salah's numbers don't lie.
It doesn't matter if he's top goal scorer, to me.
He's
not doing a job for the team.
Okay, but then
is Mo Salah the most
saying,
selfish footballer you've seen play for Liverpool?
But as a you asked me this when I was first on, and I said, yeah, for his end game is to be top goal scorer. And whether you can say, oh, it's all about the team, it's all about this. Well, is it though? Because players all have personal ambition, individual ambition.
My gripe with Salah is when he plays, if he scores first, the rest of the game he's fine. But if Matty scores first, he is a nightmare.
I think we'd suffer more for losing Matty than we would Salah.
I don't disagree with you. I just think if you say, for argument's sake, he scores 25 goals this season, you're then selling 25 goals.
But then if you got the option of selling him and getting Haaland or Mbappe, would you sell him?
I just don't think that's going to happen.
I agree what you're saying. I think that's the only thing for me with Salah is what sort of puts me off selling him. And even I don't see a need for selling Salah. What I'm saying is we got a bid above like 80, 90 million for Mo Salah.
I get well more.
I don't think we get it in this market. But I think if we got a reasonable bid for Salah, I'd consider it. And I don't think we need to sell Salah. What I think we need is credible competition for Salah. And if we're in a market where we haven't got much money, like everyone's saying, we're having to sell to buy, getting 90 million for Mohamed Salah. Like I said, there's 3 players there. The way we do business, there's 3 players there that we can buy and bring in. And to be honest, we don't even need that much. For me, all we need is a striker and a right winger, and we're sorted. Wijnaldum's going to go. Curtis Jones is ready to go. So there's no need to go mad, I don't think.
I think it's absolutely baffling. For as much as I like Wijnaldum, it's absolutely baffling. He's put his cards on the table. He's had a contract in front of him. He said no. He's basically said, I'm going. I think it's bewildering the way he starts every game.
Apparently he wants to stay though.
It bewilders me, the fact that he was made captain for a game recently. I don't understand it. It's like the whole Coutinho situation again. When Coutinho wanted to go, he shouldn't have played, for me.
I think he wants to stay though. What I've read is that he wants 250 a week for 5 years, but we only want to give it for 3 years. But if he has it for 5 years, we're committing to paying him 250 grand a week till he's 35.
Exactly.
So that's where the argument's meant to be.
A lot of money for Genie Wijnaldum.
But when you think about it, 250 grand, Van Dijk doesn't even get that.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Van Dijk's our best player.
Nat Phillips is on 75 grand a week, you know.
Fuck off. He was
it got
not on
leaked.
75.
Have a look, I promise you.
Is that with bonuses and shit though?
No, that's
Is that
basic
pay?
That's basic pay.
Behave yourself.
Honest, have a look after this. I promise you he's on 75 grand a week.
Virgil van Dijk's our best player. So
He's on one... In fact, no, he's on 190, but it says everywhere you look that we're committed to giving him a contract before Salah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all this bullshit of well, you read the day. No one knows.
Nah.
It's all fucking hearsay. We all know Van Dijk's our best player, so Van Dijk should be the highest paid player at the club. That's fucking common sense.
That's what he spoke when Steve was there.
So with Wijnaldum saying, well, no, I want 250 grand a week. Well, no.
There's a video going around, isn't there, where Everton fans say something, you need to go to Barca, you're better than them red shite. And he says, no, he wants to stay. And he doesn't want Barca.
Yeah,
is he being videoed?
Yeah. He's being videoed, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your answer.
But I don't know if he can see the camera. You wouldn't know because it's in
He's
a car.
not soft.
Yeah, I know he's not
because
soft.
If he was to then say, yeah, you're fucking right, they are the well better, I hated here.
Don't you think, though, if he was going to go to Barca, he would have signed it already?
How do you know it hasn't been? No one knows. This is what I'm saying.
It's all Barca.
It's
Jay,
all
they'd announce
bullshit.
it. Barca would announce it.
It's all bullshit. What you read in the papers is bullshit. There's just been a thing in the Echo, and I've just retweeted it. 1 minute apart, one article saying Liverpool is the safest city in the UK. And a minute later, they sent an article out of a girl's been arrested in Crocky Park, 14-year-old, for running around trying to hit people with an axe. Do you know what I mean? So it's like everyone goes, I've read this. No one knows. These reporters don't know. They're all full of shit. No one knows. Especially the Echo, the fucking biggest rag about. Yeah. Apart from the other one.
It's printed in Manchester as well, though.
But it's not even the point. But like, my point is, none of us work at the club. The only person to trust is when he. To be fair, when he comes out and says, he only ever comes out and says something is Klopp, and he only ever comes out and says something is when it's fucking happening.
Yeah, because he said, didn't he, all January, we're not buying anyone,
Because probably at the time, we weren't buying anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think him calling the owners out over the centre-back made them buy someone? I know we didn't spend much money, it was like 2 million total, but do you reckon that forced their hand?
It's whether it was the owners. For all we know, that Kabak deal is took fucking a month to sort out. Because they wanted to buy him, but Schalke was saying no, so they've had to loan him. No one, this again, it goes back to my point. No one knows, because we're not round the negotiating table, we don't know. And Klopp isn't the type of manager, he's not like other managers where they come out and say, yeah, we've put a bid in for him. Yeah, but we're in talks with him. Klopp will come out and say, no, there's nothing to tell you, because I'll only tell you when it's done.
Well, apparently Origi, I know you're saying don't believe everything, but apparently he was going, but Michael Edwards wants too much for him. How much is Origi worth, Dean?
$5. Nah, he's fucking shite, isn't he?
The best time we should have sold him was after the Champions League final.
Yeah. Do you know what? I partly feel sorry for Origi because I think he's come on and he's asked to do the job that Firmino does. It's not his game whatsoever. It makes him look worse than what he is. But even what he is good at, he's shit at. He's fucking... As I said last week, he comes on, he's got such of a bouncy castle and he just gets bullied by defenders. But it doesn't help when you're asking him to come on, play in front of a back four, try and link the midfield to the attack, find the strikers in the channels, or come on and play out wide, hold the ball up but run at defenders and try and get it, try and dribble and get a goal. It's not his game. The best we've always seen of Origi is on the shoulder. Play on the shoulder, try and pull defenders out of position. That's the best we ever see of Origi. Look at the game against Everton last season at the derby at Anfield last season. Yeah. Played on the shoulder because they played so high. Origi's quite quick. Play a ball over the top and let him go on to the end of it. The game against Norwich as well. Play on the shoulder. They're slow. Get in behind them. You'll get goals. He scored 2 that night. That's the best of Origi. Don't ask him to come on and do Firmino's job. He's not capable of it. I don't think there's a place for Origi no more. I used to think that we could still get the best out of David Origi. I think that ship sailed now. So I think even in the summer, if we got like 10 million for Origi, just recouped what we bought him for, even that is probably a profit really, considering what he's done for us.
Yeah. I mean, I've put a list here, people we could sell. Karius, you could probably get 4 mil for.
I think
Is
his
he still at us?
I think his contract's up at the end of the season.
I'll fucking give him a fucking bag of crisp and say, see you later, lad.
He still thinks he can fight back, doesn't he, for his place?
Fuck off.
He hasn't even got in Union Berlin, though, you know.
No, he's on the bench, didn't he? They got it because at the beginning of the season they bought a really experienced goalkeeper. He swapped with Augsburg and got a really experienced goalkeeper, so he's never going to get in there anyway.
He's just awful.
More asked about what he puts in his fucking head and playing in goal, that cunt.
We've got Grabara as well. The other one who's the keeper who went to Huddersfield. He's still on our books. Phillips will go for free. Vandenberg, probably get about 2 mil for him off Preston if he does well.
I think that's optimistic.
If he does well, though, he's only 19. You buy when you pay a bit more, don't you, for the kids?
Yeah, but I sounds really sad. I watched a couple of under-23s games in last year.
He's bad, isn't he?
He was poor.
But it's even like people like Marucci. Where his contract run down, he can go for free in the summer. We could have just sold him in January or something. He's decent as well.
Will we get compensation for him though? Because he's homegrown.
Depends if someone signs him. He could just let us run out, and if he lets the contract run out,
but you can still get compensation. That's what's happened with Elliot.
What?
With Harvey Elliott, his contract ran out, didn't it?
He signed pre-contract though, before his contract.
If you sign a pre-contract in them 6 months, then you've got to pay that club.
So ultimately, if he waits till
whenever his contract runs, 5th of July, then he can do what he wants.
It's like when we signed Danny Ings, we had to pay them $7 million because he was classed as homegrown with Burnley, and we signed him before his contract ran out. We signed a pre-contract agreement.
Oh, Gruich probably get about what?
It's a proper footy manager, that, isn't it? No, the fact that we know
that's
that.
Exactly
yeah,
what it
that's
was.
how we know that.
Gruich, how much do you reckon you can get for him?
I reckon his stock's high on the continent, Gruich. I think you could
in
sell,
Germany.
Exactly, he's done well at Berlin.
Yeah.
I reckon you could sell Gruich for a good 15 million. I reckon you'd do well and get 15 million for Gruich.
This is like some of the deadwood we've got. Like Shea Ojo, he's still at the club.
I think his contract up.
Nah, next year.
We will never sell him. He'll just go.
He'll end up with another fucking contract then.
Yeah, somehow.
Harry Wilson, how much do you reckon you get for him?
Would you sell him though?
Yeah.
I'd sell Wilson, yeah.
I like him.
I like him, but he was at
You've raved about him for
but
years.
then you think he was at Bournemouth last year. What did he do in the Prem?
He did alright.
Bournemouth.
Alright.
He did alright at Bournemouth. I think if he'd come in this season, got the same amount of games as Curtis Jones is getting, and maybe next season built on that, we could have had something.
He plays
there.
on the right though, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
But then they're probably thinking, oh, we've got Elliot now.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. But now he's dropped down to Cardiff in the Championship. I think he's another one, like he's gone.
Yeah, he's not done that well either.
Has he not?
Cardiff, nah. I think he's got like 2 goals all season. When you compare him to Elliot,
He's meant to be a goal scoring right winger.
yeah. We've still got Ben Woodburn on our books.
Super Ben, man.
Somehow.
Origi, and then we've got that Awoni as well, who's flying in Union Berlin. Flying.
Is he?
Yeah, but I'd keep him, me, and sell Origi.
I think his issue is work permit though.
But he's meant to be getting a cap for Nigeria now. And with the new Brexit rules, if you're an elite athlete, apparently you can. There's more. I read something on The Athletic about him. He could maybe get a work permit this year.
Maybe it's just worth bringing him back and just giving him 6 months and see what happens. And even if he's shite, there's still money there. Do you know what I mean? He's got that behind him. He's played 10 times for Liverpool off the bench. We'll get 10 million for him. I'm happy with that.
That's just deadwood. And then you think about like the Ox, Milner. You could probably sell Milner to like Villa or something for like $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah, I'd give Milner another season. Just one more season, especially with the club being in such a state of flux. Well, in the summer, it could be in such a state of flux. I'd give Milner another season just for stability. Even just to have around the dressing room.
Who else do you sell?
We said
If we sell to buy. There's only the Ox, really, isn't there?
Ox like Shaqiri.
You probably get some decent money for Shaqiri.
Yeah, I don't know about Minamino. If he would sell Minamino, obviously he turned down the option to buy, didn't he? I think if again Minamino, give him a run of games. I think there's something there. I really do think there's something there with Minamino.
He's one player. I remember when he put Salisbury come to Anfield and when he played.
I don't think you can't judge him on one performance though.
But that game, I remember our group chat. I don't even remember Jay back then. When he played, even like Mellon, that was a comment like he is some player. He put Van Dijk on his ass at the time when no one had dribbled. He was the first person to dribble past Van Dijk, wasn't he?
Yeah, but again, it's just one performance.
But he's got that in his locker.
Yeah, but then you could just say he just had it in his locker that night. I mean, he scored a fucking cracking goal on Saturday. Like it was a great goal.
Yeah.
So I do think there's something there with Minamino. I just think he needs to bulk up. He's too weak.
I just don't understand the fucking thing about loaning him out. Still baffles me.
I think
it's
the
game
time. Yeah, I don't think it's.
Give him games.
Yeah, I agree. Give him games, but then
Baffles me.
I think it's more like go and prove why you can play in the Prem that low.
To make or break for him in a way.
Yeah. But I don't think he's been bad. That game he started, and it wasn't against Palace, but he was decent against Palace. But then against Villa's kids, he was abysmal. So he's just hit and miss, really. But then some players are hit and miss. You think like some players you've had in the past who've been hit and miss, but
Jovanovic.
He was not hit.
He
just wanted to be fucking it.
Yeah, he was missed. But who else? Who would you bring in then in the summer? Like for me, I'd bring in Haaland because I think Minamino would work well with him against he did in Salzburg. And Haaland's the type of player with Liverpool. Trent and Robbo would love it.
This isn't a question for me because for as much as I love footy and I love the Reds and all that, I don't sit there and I don't like watch all fucking games and play.
Erling Haaland.
The one player who I'd say who I really like at the minute is Calvin Phillips from Leeds.
Yeah.
I think Calvin Phillips from Leeds is an absolute baller.
To get him, because he's English, young, at the Prem, it's stupid money, innit?
I think he'd do what Wijnaldum does, though. So if you're looking to replace him for this like for like,
he plays more Fabinho as well, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he plays deeper, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah, he plays like...
That doesn't not to say that
it's not to say you can't do it.
Yeah.
He's only young and he's fucking, for me, he's fucking brilliant.
Do you know else decent for Leeds? That one who's on loan from City.
That one.
Harrison.
City.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, I wouldn't have him. I think that's... He's one of them, like, I don't watch much of Leeds, but I'd imagine he pops up every now and then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I imagine he's not pulling up trees. I know they mentioned Rafinha on Sky Sports News.
That's being linked loads
his name's getting bandied about. He looks a decent little player.
But he's a winger again, though, isn't he? So...
But that's what we need, though, innit? We need a winger on, especially on the right-hand side where he plays. Like,
can you not see Elliot coming back, though? And I'm not saying give Salah a run for his money, but he's competition, isn't he? If he plays like he has this year.
Like, that's a lot to put on an 18-year-old kid. To say you're going to come in, you're going to challenge Mo Salah, who's just come off the back of probably another 20-goal season.
Yeah.
You're going to challenge him for his place. And to get above him, you're going to have to score as many goals. So he's more than he's going to have to do.
He's not a goal scorer, Elliot, though,
exactly.
Really.
You can't. I think it's a lot of pressure to put on an 18-year-old kid. I think he needs another loan in the Premier League. I know he's doing really well at Blackburn, but I think he needs another loan.
If they come up, go back to Blackburn.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he needs another 2 years out on loan in the Premier League, to be honest, to prove that he can.
He's only just turned 17, hasn't he? So
exactly. But there's a massive disparity between the team top of the league and the team bottom of the league. So even if he joined Blackburn next season when he come up and he had a good season behind him at next summer, that's probably still not enough to come into Liverpool's first team. So I think even then he won't be ready. I think you do need to buy competition for Salah. Like, I think that's what our money should go on in the summer. Essentially, for me, the most important part of the team this summer are centre forward, right wing.
Saying centre forward, what would you do with Bobby?
I wouldn't sell him. I just think the good thing about Firmino is he's versatile. He can play up front. He can play in the 10. So he's got a place. There's a place
Where
there
did he
for
play
him.
for Hoffenheim with Borussia? Was it centre mid?
In the 10. Played behind a striker. Bought him as a number 10. And then for some reason Rodgers started to play him left wing back and left wing, and that was probably the nail in his coffin because he had nothing. I think when Klopp came in, everyone was getting quite apathetic towards Firmino. And it was only Klopp coming in and starting him up front that he started scoring goals.
Klopp wants him, didn't he, at Dortmund and that?
Yeah, exactly. Because he could play deep line. Because he could do Götze. He's going to take the piss out of me now. he could do Götze's job of dropping deep and allowing the wingers to push on. But I think, like, for us now, that's worked for 4 years, as we've said before. We're going a bit stale. So there's still games where that will work. But then there's games where we need someone to do what we really want Origi to do, which was occupy them two centre-halves, push them back, make space, blah, blah, blah. And we need a proper striker for that. I personally don't think we'll go anywhere near Haaland. I think his release clause is 93 million euros.
I thought it was 70 this summer.
Even that, I think that's too much for our owners. I don't think they'll go near him with a barge pole. And I think if we get rid of the players we've got, is it 40 million they give us every summer, and then whatever we can make, we can keep for transfers?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure that's the case.
My thinking was with Haaland was our owners like to buy where they can maybe sell them for a profit, and he's only 20.
Yeah, but even if you buy it 70 million, how much profit are you going to make on 70 million on a lad, on a 20-year-old lad?
You want me to ask you about Alisson's cold feet? What did Klopp say, Jay?
I think it's been a tongue-in-cheek comment, and I really do believe, and I say it all the time, it's fucking smart. It's really smart. Pep does it. Klopp does it, Mourinho does it, and they're the fucking 3 best at doing it. Liverpool played shit at the weekend. What are the Blues buzzing off? What are the Mancs buzzing off?
Alisson.
No, they're buzzing off because Klopp blamed it on cold feet. They do it all the time. Oh, Klopp said, is it windy, is it? Is the pitch too dry? But it deflects from the fact that Liverpool have just played it fucking awful.
Yeah.
Pep does it. Mourinho does it, and for me, it's fucking boss management. Because he's, in that instance, he's stood in front of the camera and just went, oh no, I think his feet were cold. So everyone's looking thinking, what the fuck are you on about here? What? His feet are cold. But it deflects from it. So your team's played really shit. Not talking about that. Shifts.
It's a cold feet.
Did you hear what fucking Klopp said?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think though, genuinely, because he was sick, weren't he, for the Brighton game, do you think he was still recovering? Because when you're sick, you're fucked.
It makes sense. Don't want to make excuses for him, but like we all have fucking days where you go in ill and you can't be arsed. I'm not saying he couldn't be arsed, but like it does have an effect on you, doesn't it? But at the same time, as Jay said, them mistakes were so late in the game, and I think it's the third one. Is it Van Allen passes it back to him?
Yeah.
Like just fucking clear your lines. He doesn't even step onto it. He just stands there, leans back, and it hits his heel. Like it's like he forgot the biomechanics of human movements and just stood there at the ball at his foot.
Well, I watched that take-up pass after you said it last week, and that's like the origins of when you play from the back, and then there's mistakes in that film where Valdez fucks up. Do you think it's criminal trying to play that style of football against Pep, who basically
created it?
I wouldn't say criminal. I think
if anyone knows how to stop it, it's Pep.
Well, there's 2 ways of looking at it, really, isn't it? Because you could use the Pep model and try, but no team is ever going to play exactly the same way as Pep's team. It's just not possible because of the way you've not got the same players, the same ability and stuff like that. But I don't think Pep expects or sets his team up to counter his own team, if that makes sense. The way his team play, I don't think he does that. And for me, Liverpool don't do that. Liverpool are happy for the opposition to have the ball in our final third, so by their 18-yard box. We're happy for them to have the ball. They can have the ball as much as they want to. They can even have the ball coming towards the halfway line, because as soon as we win the ball back, Liverpool are full to the pelt. We'll counter you.
Yeah.
So ours is a very aggressive style of counter football, whereas Sunday I just thought everything was just dead slow. And if you look at Pep's footy, it's not slow passing. Pep, you've seen it in the documentary, I'm sure you will have as well. Pep does rondos all the time.
To be honest, after watching it, I didn't like Pep, but after watching now, I had some respect for him, you know.
But the first thing Pep does in a training session, he still does it now. I watched the City thing a couple of years ago. The first thing they do when they come out, and they know it, what to do, they put themselves into rondos, and they're in rondos for about 45 minutes. It's not just like when you've got your lads training where you do a 10-minute rondo, or when I've got my lads and it's 10-15 minutes in a rondo and then you've got to do your session. It's not like that. He does 45 minutes to an hour in a rondo. But going back to your point, if he set up to play Pep's game, then it probably was a bit stupid. But I don't think that is the case. I think it's just lackadaisical from Wijnaldum, from them all. It's very fucking stupid from the keeper. I remember thinking when the ball got passed back to him, just fucking hoof it.
He didn't.
Just hoof it. And then I made this like weird high-pitched noise when he gave the ball away. Not worse than Carragher's, but I made some noise when he gave it away, and then my half fella launched the remote. So it was
fun, nice, and
it was just one of them. It was fucking shit game. And at the minute, I'll just be dead honest, I don't see where Liverpool's next points are going to come from. I'm not very confident going into Saturday.
We'll move on to that now. Not confident?
No. Not after watching that.
Are you confident, Dean?
No, not really, no. But no. I think it's winnable. Like, we can win it.
Is Vardy back?
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to start. He's just back, isn't he?
I think for me, again, it all depends on the team selection.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, there's been out in all the James Pearson that's been tweeting about it, which usually means it's right. About Kabak starting this weekend.
Game too late.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It is the right thing to do. But
you say it's a game too late, though. Would you have through it's 20 at the end of the day into the biggest game of the season?
Yeah.
Can I rephrase that question?
Yeah.
Because we had the conversation last week about who would start centre half, and I was vehemently for Kabak. Do you think it was a mistake in hindsight not to play Kabak?
I think it was a mistake not to play a recognised centre half. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kabak or Davies?
I wouldn't have played Davies in that game. I wouldn't have.
My point is, sorry, I've got something in my eye. My point is always, he's been signed for a reason. If you signed, I don't sign someone for my 21s if I think, right, when we go to Tranmere, I'm not going to take him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take him because he can't hack it. No. It's like, you've signed that player for a reason because you think he's good enough.
We want them
you
since
know
the
Owen,
summer.
don't you?
Yeah.
And Owen's a really good player. So I wouldn't have signed Owen if he weren't a good player. I just don't understand that thing of, oh, well, he's not quite ready. He's been playing for fucking 6 months. He's played for the season. He played up against some of the best players in the world. Lewandowski, Sancho, Haaland.
They were in Leipzig as well.
Yeah, this is what I said last week. We're not talking about some bum who's been playing for the Farmers team. Like, as Jay said then, he's played against some of the best strikers in the world. But on top of that, like, we've had the luxury in the past of being able to give players time. Like Oxlade-Chamberlain, Fabinho, they took 6 months to settle in because there was cover in those positions. We don't have that luxury now with the centre halves. They have to basically parachute into that position and start right away. And I thought, and that's why I texted him before the game and said, like, we're fucked. Because we were, with those two centre halves, with Henderson, Fabinho centre half, we were fucked.
No pace against, like, Sterling and that, is it?
No pace, but you got Fabinho coming off the back of an injury and 3 centre mids there, not one of them's holding. They need protection. I don't know now if it's. I think now what we should do is just play whoever, play both of them. Kabak and fucking Davies. Who gives a fuck?
Play all of them.
I think on Saturday it's going to come down to the midfield battle, and I think if we get our midfield 10 out of 10, we can sort of get away with our defence being 6 or 5 out of 10 because the midfield win every battle.
So do you think start Kabak and Davies and put Hendo and Fabinho back?
Maybe I'm being a bit bullish saying start both of them, like, but I'd definitely start Kabak. I'd start Kabak and Fabinho. I'd put Henderson in front of the back four, and I'd drop Thiago.
Yeah,
I'd drop Thiago. Play. I know you don't like the thought of playing Wijnaldum, but I'd play Wijnaldum and Milner because I just think we need solidity.
It's not that I don't like the thought of it. Wijnaldum's a fucking brilliant player, and at the minute we need something. Let's be honest.
I think we need to get back to basics.
Just
go back to where we were. There's no point in trying to He's brought Thiago in. I'm not saying it's failed, but right now it's not what we need. We don't need fresh ideas. We need to get back to what we were. And we were always solid in midfield. We were always hard working. We were the hardest working team. Look at what Chris Wilder said about us last season when he came to Anfield. The reason for Liverpool's success is we got the basics right. We were willing to do the legwork. And I'm not saying we haven't been able to do that, but we've looked really fucking slow lately. And I think part of it is because we're missing something in midfield. We're missing steel. We're missing a little bit of solidity. And yes, that's because our 2 old midfielders playing centre half. But then we've got a lad on the bench there, like he's 34 years of age. Doesn't mean he can't do a job. If he can't do a job, why the fuck's he still at the club?
He's the fittest player in the team, isn't he?
Exactly. So if he can't do the job, why is he still there? He's just like, is he just there out of fucking kindness? Because that's an insult to him. Play him. He should have started on Sunday for me. And I think on Saturday he needs to start Milner with Wijnaldum and Henderson in front of the back four, and then Kabak and Fabinho in centre half.
Don't you think he's too loyal though sometimes with his subs though? Like, I would have brought Wijnaldum off out of the 3 of them against City. Yeah. And he's just didn't.
You know when you see Curtis Jones is starting,
he's coming
60, off. 65 minutes, he's coming off.
But stupid, isn't it? Because
he played well. He didn't deserve to come off. What you said before. I didn't even want to start, but I think having started, he did himself justice.
Yeah. I just think every game now, so Leicester now becomes the biggest game of the season.
And then Everton.
And the derby.
That is the biggest
game of the season anyway.
The derbies are fucking, you don't even need to say how big the derby is. Even when Liverpool are fucking flying like we were last year.
Because if they beat us, they go above us, don't they?
They got 2 games in hand as well, remember?
Yeah. So
and they're only 3 points off.
That's fucking grim, that. Wow.
Jay will be deactivating us Twitter that day.
Yeah, but the derby, so Leicester becomes the biggest game. Hopefully get something from the game at Leicester.
Well, one plus about Leicester is Rodgers will not come and will not play against us to defend. He won't sit back. It's not in Rodgers' philosophy to sit back.
But they've got pace.
Yeah.
Which is something, for some reason, we don't have at the minute. And we look fucked.
I've just got this thing about Trent lately, where I just think he looks like he can't be asked. Every time he's on the telly,
Yeah.
and I'm watching him play, I'm just thinking, you don't even want to be there, you.
But I feel like that with most of them, though, Jay. I feel like you look at all of them and they look like they can't be asked. And I refuse to believe, maybe I'm naive, but I refuse to believe a professional football player goes on the pitch at any level of any game, professional or not, amateur. You don't go on a pitch if you don't care. I don't think.
But if you look at Trent this year to last year, I can see what Jay means. It's like, even there was a game the other week and I messaged you and said he's not even running back. He was jogging back. They was on the break and he was jogging back.
I do, like I said at the beginning, I think it's just a massive combination of all sorts. That's it as at once. I think if we'd have been burnt out last year at this stage, I think obviously we're being 20 or odd points ahead, we'd have got away with it.
I think it's the fans, well, you know.
It is.
It's part of it, yeah.
Since the two performances we had this season with like Spurs, and that was when we had the fans in. When you think back to when we sat in yours thinking we were going to win the league against Everton, how boring was that game with no fans? It was awful. One of the worst. We were fuming. Best part about that day was getting a Domino's.
I'm going to buy it in when I look at that. Sound of Domino's sounds lovely.
I think someone will probably slate me for this, but I think not having fans, there being no fans has affected Liverpool the most, I think, because you can say what you want. The 4-0 against Barca doesn't happen if there's no fans in the ground.
Yeah.
The 4-3 against City a couple of years ago doesn't happen if there's ground. There's 3-0 in the Champions League doesn't happen if there's no fans. Liverpool, and I'm sure other people will say their team is spurred on by their fans, except the Blues, because they get booed all the time. So it's like Liverpool's fans are like, they are missed. I said it, I think, on the first one. Everyone thought that fans would be back in now. When the fixtures come out, if you remember it, there was Blues, Manx, Chelsea, Arsenal fans all moaning because we had a spell of big games away from home and it was all before Christmas. And they were saying, well, that's not fair because they'll come to us when we haven't got fans and we'll go to them when they have. Now, unfortunately for Tottenham, it was fucking true.
Yeah.
But we all thought the fans would be back in now. The players probably thought it. We all thought the first lockdown was going to be 3 weeks. 4 months.
Yeah, now.
It's been a year. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think psychologically it does have an effect on the players. I think it benefits other clubs massively. Look at West Ham.
Yeah. Because their fans are grim.
But their fans are grim, but they haven't liked the way Moyes has played. So when Moyes has been there and the fans have been there, they fucking let him know. And it's like a toxic thing that you can feel. But if there's no fans there,
They've been boss.
They've been sad. Everton
have benefited from having
Everton have benefited from having no fans because they haven't got, and it's not even a dig at any little thing before was, but it's not even a dig at them. Like, Everton have benefited from not having any fans because there's no toxic atmosphere when something doesn't go their way.
Yeah, because if they get beat, they get booed off the pitch, don't they?
Yeah, and it's not a dig, but Everton are that desperate for some success now because it's been that long. Like, if something doesn't go their way, if they lose, how many home games have Everton lost this year? I'm sure I've watched 3. Newcastle, Leeds. They've lost about 3 or 4.
The drew with Leicester felt like a lost old because they picked a mistake.
Well, every time they're coming to go above Liverpool, they fuck up. Every time this season.
But that could just be a coincidence. I don't think the players are going, oh, we could go above the Reds and the Reds go. But yeah, can you imagine them, Everton, if they lost that game? They go on these runs. That's what happens. But
they're going to expect the success more now as well, aren't they? Because they've got a boss manager and a decent team.
They've got a good team as well, I think.
Arsenal are another one. Can you imagine if their fans this year? Fuck me, you don't have to watch that tit DT on that fucking Arsenal fan TV. You don't have to watch him. So can you imagine him in the ground with the way they're going at the minute? Just makes a tit of himself.
Charity boxing match, yeah.
Oh, I'd do him.
That's why I think that we might benefit at Leicester, because they are a team who I don't think they would have won the league without fans.
The home form's been poor this season.
Yeah,
I think with Leicester, we're not exactly rivals, are we? So I don't think the fans.
Isn't this season the first season where there's been more away wins than home wins in the Premier League?
Yeah.
I don't think fans will come into it on Sunday. Not to the extent that it would do in other games. I do agree with Jay. I don't think the 4-1 happens on Sunday if there's fans in the ground.
No, because I think, sorry to cut in, but I think when Mo Salah scores the pen, the whole ground turns.
Yeah.
It does. That's what happens in any game.
I don't think we would have lost to Burnley. We wouldn't have lost the record to them if those fans.
No.
But I think at the same point, I think not having fans in the stadium is going to have a massive impact a week on Saturday against Everton. I think that's going to be and I'm genuinely seriously worried about that game.
I've never dreaded a derby more. I've dreaded derbies. The derbies are dreaded where Origi in the 96th minute, I dreaded that one because they were playing well at the time and they played well on the day.
Yeah, they deserved something from that game.
I dreaded that one, and I'm dreading this.
Calvert-Lewin's been for Josh King's a decent buy as well.
This reminds me of when the FA Cup semi-final we played against
The Andy Carroll one.
Yeah, and we went on into that game. I think we won one game in the previous 9, and the game we won was the game before we played Blackburn away, and Carroll scored in the last minute. I remember going to that game and thinking, these don't beat us today. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Because we were there for the taking, and I think
it's exactly if they don't beat us now, it'll fucking never happen.
Yeah, we're there for the taking for them, and I think it's more important. I think that maybe that might play into our hands. Maybe I'm grasping at straws. Maybe that might play into our hands a little bit because the pressure's on them, really, in that sense.
The benefit with Everton is they got Pickford in goal.
It's beneficial to us.
That's what I mean. Like that's where we can win the game.
I just can't imagine they're fucking fans if they beat us. Well, I can't because I've got a mate who every time Liverpool can see the goal, he sends me a picture of himself smiling. And on Sunday, he sent me a video as he was going in bed singing Blue Moon, and then sent me a video Monday morning walking around town with Blue Moon blasting out of his phone singing it.
Fuck your mate, lad.
Yeah, so I was thinking, but every time Everton, conceded when Leeds were playing, I fucking sent him the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
I'll fully be muting all Everton to do the 90s when if they beat us. Tomo and Enrico, not a chance. I won't even have my phone on.
You bring that on yourself, though.
I haven't even messaged him that recently. It's been him.
You bring that on yourself.
My manager in work's a massive Everton fan. I'm not going to work Monday after because I can't be arsed.
See, this is what the Reds have done to us. It's fucking 2 weeks away and we're just dreading it.
I think we'll beat Everton.
I actually don't. I think we'll get beat.
I think we'll
get
beat. Yeah.
But that form goes out the window in the derby.
No, but I think the game on Sunday was quite similar in context. Whereas City hadn't won at Anfield in 17 years, and that would be a massive kick in the arse for them now. And I think Everton will take a lot from that.
Each team that comes to Anfield will take a lot. It's 3 league games on the bounce. When the fuck did Liverpool ever?
It's got to be unjudged, hasn't it? The last time, got to be.
No, 60 years ago.
Was it? Yeah,
in the 60s when Liverpool last lost
Hodgson
3 league games.
Bad.
Even
so Shankly.
this bad under Hodgson.
So under Shankly then.
Yeah. Shankly pays.
It's not.
That's a fucking. That's a big thing. That the last time you lose 3 league games on the bounce. And I did see an interesting thing. Right, it's the first time Jurgen's lost back-to-back games
ever.
For like 254 games or something. But the next person under that is like Mourinho, 17. Do you know what I mean? It's the first time it's at like first. And then there was another one that said it took Jurgen 4 years to win the league and European Cup. The next one after that is 12. I think it was Ferguson.
It's Mourinho didn't win the European Cup with Chelsea, did he?
It was Ferguson in 99.
It's madness that when you think of how
good he is,
mediocre that side he took over was Klopp when he got to Liverpool. Like I've never hated the Liverpool side more than that 15-16 season. I fucking hated us.
Well, I had a look at the lineup the other day actually when the Warri come into, and we had Colo Touré,
Adam Bolton,
fucking hated
John Flanagan,
Simon Mignolet.
He was the other one.
John Flanagan's a free agent now as well.
Jordan Ibe, fucking Benteke.
I was the next Sterling at the time, and he did have potential. And
look what he did to us that season. Like we were shit that season, and he got us to Europa League final, League Cup final,
which we should have fucking won.
We should have won both. In essence, I still think we should have won the League Cup final. We got beat on pens, didn't we?
Yeah.
We should have won that League Cup final. That was a tight game.
That's the Sevilla one we battered them.
Well, we beat City 4-0 at the Etihad that season as well. Remember? I think we beat them at Anfield.
Beat them the week after.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we should have. And with that team, I think towards the end of that season, he started playing like a fucking Shea Ojo and Conor Randall, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Brad Smith.
Yeah, just to give lads a game. But it worked for Brad Smith because he got a £6 million move to Bournemouth. So
Listen, it's tough at the minute, innit? But it's one of them.
it's never been this good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like,
Fucking hell.
And it'll never be as bad for me. I remember going under Hodgson. We played Wolves at Anfield and we got beat 1-0 and there was people fighting in the centenary stand. That was a low point as my point as a Liverpool fan.
The lowest I've been at the ground is we played Utrecht, some Dutch team in the Europa League at home at Anfield.
Same
And
season.
we fucking drew 0-0. Jovanovic hit the bar from like 40 yards out.
Yeah.
It must have been the only time that cunt hit the fucking ball at the goal. But like, it was the first time I've ever heard a team get booed off at Anfield.
Yeah.
I think that was before the Wolves
It
game.
was, yeah.
So like that's how bad it can be.
I mean,
You can have Christian Poulsen centre mid, Paul Konchesky left back, Milan Jovanovic up front.
You saw a window could be Danny Wilson, Joe Cole, Jovanovic.
Yeah, we're
It's like-
talking about toxicity. That Wolves game was fucking poison.
Yeah.
But
Never experienced anything like that at Anfield.
for as frustrated and for as pissed off as we all are now, like, we know, and most fucking Scouts Reds know, like you've just said, it's never been this good.
I think most of the hate people you see online now, though, is all glorious.
I seen a tweet, and I fucking promise you, it was like LFC New Delhi, something like that. And someone, a fucking blue nose, had retweeted it, and it said the manager must go. And it's like, oh my god,
It's glory
are you
hunters.
taking the piss?
They've got to be glory hunters, though, haven't they?
I just
Anyone
like-
who says Klopp should go didn't support Liverpool when we had Hodgson.
I think the Blues, or they've got to be. Someone's got to be taking the piss. It's like that transfer account, that fucking indicating.
Indicator,
Yeah.
Do you know what,
Come on.
though, right? He gets loads bang on, you know. If you act like, when it's transfer window, follow him. I promise. He gets the piss suck out of him, but he gets so many transfers bang on.
But my point is, like,
Works for KFC, like.
I've
Yeah, but
never,
if you spray a battery hands with a machine gun, you're going to hit some of them, aren't you?
Yeah.
I've never ever known this is the best Liverpool. This is the best it's ever felt being a Red. And like, you get people who and they're just moaning because the Reds haven't been great for 2 months. Fuck off.
So it'll be alright next year. Van Dijk will be back.
Lad,
Fans will be back.
we could win Saturday. We could win beat the shite and then win the next game. And it's like, all right, then we're saying now.
It's all flipped on its head, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
and
comfortably in the
we're
Champions
sat
League
here.
places.
We're sat here and we're going, don't know what we've been fucking worried about.
But do you think if we win Leicester and win Everton, it spirals our season back the other way then?
I think
I'm not saying win the league, but I mean, do you think winning Leicester and Everton is vital? Not just in terms of being in the top four still, in terms for the rest of the season.
Personally, I think we've got to get something Saturday, even if it's just a draw.
Isn't
Get a draw
Leipzig,
Saturday and then beat that lot.
isn't Leipzig wedged in between these two as well?
Yeah, we got Leipzig next Tuesday. I think that's an important game. I think we can beat Leipzig. Because they're going to be, I think, mental little mind games like that come into play, don't they? Like, they're meant to be at home, but they're not at home. Playing in
Hungary.
Budapest, aren't they? We're the away team either way. So, I think little mind games
It
like
doesn't, but we're not going to Germany now, we're going to Hungary.
Yeah, but we can't. I don't think we can. We have to win that game away, or at least draw 0-0. We can't come into Anfield having to, because there's no fans. We have to win, or at least a 0-0, or 1-1. We need. I think we need an away goal.
Realistically, you need a goal,
I
don't
would
you?
say that is going into any Champions League game, though, wouldn't you?
But even
need
more
away
so
goal.
with no fans.
No fans is going to play a part for the rest of the season. I don't think there'll be fans at all.
One plus about Leipzig, they got Galaxy in goal.
Goalkeeper, though.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper.
But he didn't make it at us, did he? I'd rather have him now than Adrian.
Look, he's shite, innit? But we were all fucking raving when he saved that pen in the Super Cup.
Yeah, we all thought we had the best backup in the division.
And it's like,
But then Villa scored 7 past them.
but he scored 7 past Van Dijk. Van Dijk played in that team.
Yeah, he was bad.
So, like,
Yeah, the
When-
full centre half partnership in front of
So
him.
We had
when-
a full team other than
Yeah.
Alisson.
it was the week before the derby.
There's full team other than Alisson.
We got fucking slapped by Villa. And then we went in the derby and you come away and think, fucking hell, we played boss there. Should have won. And then, I forgot even what my point was, but it was about fans, wasn't it? I think fans plays a massive part for the rest of the season. There's not going to be fans in the ground for a while.
Not this season.
I don't even think there's going to be fans.
I reckon aim for December, which would be the middle of next season.
So that just tell you how fucked up
Well, I was watching the Super Bowl the other day in America. I know they had 22,000 fans in there.
Yeah, but it's different in America because each state has its own laws and its own is
Florida's
governed.
a lot more relaxed,
So
isn't it?
Florida,
We should take note
Florida
of
have
that.
said we're just going to have mass gatherings, whereas New York have said nah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So it's not like it is here, where if soft ass fucks up in number 10, the whole country feels it.
Yeah.
Because say for that whoever the fucking mayor here is now, if they turn around and say, well, we're not doing that, well, actually you are.
But even when we did have tier 2, they used to let everyone in anyway. It's full of walls around here and Manx.
Well, let's not go into that.
Try and get Jay talking about it. But before we do go, if we're still waiting for our parade, City are going to win the league. By the time fans are allowed back in, it's probably going to be that, like, you can have a mass gathering. It's probably going to be that City and Liverpool waiting to parade the trophy. I'll start with you, Dean. Should we parade it?
Seems something really sad about that, I think. I wouldn't do like a big City parade, but I think...
But we've waited 30 years.
Oh no, but like,
It's like
2 years out of date. I don't think we should. I think we should bring the trophy on the pitch before the first game, show it around the fans, don't recreate like a fucking trophy lift or any shit like that, and just move on.
It's like marrying your missus, divorcing her, and then going to a next wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, no. If it was going to be done, it would have been done. It would have already been done by now. It should have been done in September or August for me, when everyone was a bit more relaxed and things like that. They could have done something then.
They can't, can they? Because they're meant to be like, they're meant to show that they're abiding by it.
I think it's a load of bullshit though, that you'll remember it because we went to ground on the night they won the league and we went to Pierhead, and there was fucking outrage. The Blues were going mad because of their build, because of Farhead's building.
That was red the other day though, weren't it?
Yeah, because Farhead's a red. But if you watch the Leeds documentary, the team come out onto the steps and were on a
I was
bus
about to ask you that then. Do you think that
there
night we was at...
nothing.
They
Nothing
got
got
fined,
said.
didn't they?
West Brom did as well when they got
Yeah, they got fined.
Players went out to the fans.
That's what I was going to ask
stadium.
you. Do you think they should have come out that night at Anfield and just
fucking
took the
fully.
fine?
I wouldn't have even been like, would they have got fined? The Leeds, like,
Yeah, I
no
think
one
they
did
got-
nothing about Leeds
Nah,
getting
they did get
fined, or
fined.
West Brom. If
But-
they did, who's asked?
I think they got fined about 20 grand.
20
Fucking hell,
grand.
whip round. Everyone give a fucking pounding.
Everyone there with that night, would they give a pounding for that fine?
Yeah.
Defo?
Yeah.
But like, it just like, the point I'm trying to get is like, when Liverpool were fucking 57 points clear at the top of the table, and football and everyone, like, football was like that, whether to fucking come
So just
back.
give us the
It was no, not even that. I didn't want that, but it was all, no, you can't do that. It's null and void. It's health and safety. You know, people are dying. Man City are pissing away with it. There's more people dying now. Not a fucking thing.
Yeah. None. Absolutely nothing.
And why is that? Because United
not
are doing
Liverpool.
well, because Everton are doing all right, because City are top of the league,
Because Liverpool doing
and
shite.
because Liverpool are doing shit. 'Cause
West
it's
Ham
not
was the
us.
biggest ones for it last year, weren't they? Like
Because they were
Karen
going down.
Yeah.
Their board were fully for avoiding the season.
I
That's
know.
cynical. That's cynicism.
Watford, Troy Deeney. Oh no, I don't think we should be playing. Fuck off.
He's playing now, isn't he?
He's fucking playing now. He's not asked.
Yeah.
They were on, it's like each club looked after their own interest, except when it comes to them middle table clubs. Because for Everton last year, if they'd have null and voided it or carried it on,
Didn't
well,
matter.
a
They weren't getting
fucking
Champions League regardless, yeah.
two places, if that. For Man United last year, all right. I don't think they were in the top four. So, but their fans were still calling for null and void. My point is,
Because I think if it was a points per game, if they would have finished on that, United would have got top 4, wouldn't they?
no, people were saying null and void it completely, cancel it. So
Yeah.
that's just so that Liverpool didn't win the league, basically. But the question is, where's all that now? There's more people dying now. There's more people in hospital, or so we're led to believe.
Yeah.
So, not a thing on Twitter about it. But you see Reds all the time, like, messing about null and void it. Whereas they're not being serious, like, asking for it, because it's just been accepted that Liverpool are shit now. Liverpool are shit. They're having a shit season. City have pissed it. All the best. But
The thing, they are going to parade though, aren't they? That's the thing. And it,
going
like Dean said,
going back to your point, no, I don't think we should
No,
parade it.
it just
It's
seems a
fucking, it's horrendous.
It's a sad state of affairs. If we
but I
fucking
think we will,
paraded so
because
few
like
years ago.
Klopp said and all that, like, we're going to do it when the time's right. But I think if we do it, we're going to get the absolute piss taken out of us forever.
Don't get me wrong, if they do it, I'll go and I will get pissed.
Same.
So don't take me saying no, they shouldn't do it as me saying I'm not going to go. I will fully fucking be there and I will be pissed.
I think, to be fair, it's not just like a celebration of winning the league, though, then it's a celebration of actually coming out of lockdown alive. I can't take my kids, and everyone will go anyway because everyone's been locked up for fucking 2 years.
So it'd be the biggest parade ever because of that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think when we do eventually come out of lockdown, if we're allowed, I think anything that happens, like anything, a fucking house party, about 70 people at someone's house party.
Good for us.
Yours.
Good for us, though.
Yeah, good
Massive
for us.
90s in Sefton Park.
Yeah, good for us because we've got like an interest in it, but like, fuck me, man. We just need something good, don't we?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Everything's just negative. Walking down the street, you get snarled if you sneeze. Like if you're across the road from someone and you sneeze and you haven't got a mask on,
You have to explain a cough.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, I haven't got it. When the fuck did you have to explain a cough?
Yeah, well, the lad who I look after, he walks out and he was like, when he does it round the parks, some woman the other day went like that as she walked past him.
It's like, is this it now? Like,
Yeah.
is this what we do? Do we snarl people who look a little under the weather because they might have a little hangover?
Stupid.
The world's just fucked and the heads are shite. And
Set him off now, fucking.
I fucking didn't want to go.
He's going to go home and he's not going to sleep for hours thinking about coronavirus.
It's not coronavirus, it's that fat swatting fucking news.
Look, now if you start, I've set him off now. Fucking hell, take it home, Matty.
Right, before we go, give us a score prediction, Dean.
I did this last week, he said we win 3-2. Oh, God, 0-0.
Bold. Crunchy.
1-1.
I'm
I'd be happy with the draw.
I'm going to go 4-0.
Fuck off, man.
Jesus Christ.
Nah, I'm holding out straws, really, to be honest. Like, that game against Leicester that season, where we just battered them and they were our biggest rivals, I'm just hoping that something like that happens again. We just turn up and fuck them.
I just think we look fucked. We look knackered. I don't think we got that energy.
Have Leicester played in the FA Cup? Are they all out?
It's through, but I don't know if they played, yeah. There's games tonight. I don't think they played last night.
But then usually when we have a break, we're shit, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what sparked this little shitty blip. Well, I'll say a blip. This is fucking what sparked that. There was 8 days, was there?
A blip. It's what sparked this fucking 2 months.
Look, you look at that fucking. There was 8 days between Palace and West Brom, weren't there? And that West Brom game was the beginning of it all. So.
Well, Leicester playing Brighton today, but they've started. Vardy starts like, but that's about it.
Maybe it's like one of them cartoons, where the character gets a bonk on the head.
Yeah.
And like they forget everything, they get another bonk on the head, and then they just switch back to the way they are.
That's
maybe we had that week break and we just forgotten who we are. We have this week break and we'll just click back into being Liverpool.
That's all I'm thinking, because we've been battered by City. There's got to be a turning point in the season. Maybe that is it. And when you think that, we've got Ndidi, Soyuncu has been playing for Matty, Tielemans, Vardy, and that's about it. Out of the first team playing today.
I just think that fucking Everton game's got rock bottom written all over it for me. That's rock bottom.
Fucking hell.
I just think that Everton. I hate to be a negative person, like, but it.
See, my fucking life is full of that negativity. I got a taxi bill for nearly 600 quid yesterday, and I was fucking flying. Come here. Fuck me.
5-0, Matty. I reckon the Reds are going to piss it 5-0. Kasper Schmeichel's going to get sent off and everything. And we're all going to go home dead happy. And then on Sunday, Boris is going to lift lockdown.
Jay would be parading the streets if that happens.
Fucking hell, not half.
Yeah, nice one for coming on. Hopefully one of us are right. Hopefully one does Dean. He's 0-0. Hopefully me or you are right. Yeah, if you watch on YouTube, don't forget to like, rate and subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And we'll see you after the Leicester game.
End the lockdown.